Recently, I did a video about a React web app I developed that acts as a chatbot using the ChatGPT API. In this video, I'm going to expand on this web app by adding system messages. System messages allow the chat AI to be trained to respond in a certain style and tone. For example, as a friend, or as a cartoon character, or a philosopher. The data returned by the API should conform to the style you've instructed the AI to use. If you didn't watch the previous video, I recommend watching this to familiarize yourself with the code. I'll be using the previous project as a starting point to this, so you can download it from the GitHub repository in the description. I'll also add a link to the repository that holds this updated version of the code. So let's get started. I'm going to use VS Code for this. So I'm in the chatmain.js React component. I'll come down to the render method. In here. So I've got a div containing 5 buttons. So change this text. So just to talk you through these buttons, each one is a React button. There's an onClick method. I'll add this method in a minute. So what this will do is set which button is being clicked and then assign the style and tone. This just handles what variant to use if the button's been selected or not. So if it's been selected, use primary variant. If not, use secondary. So let's just create this method. So we can call it handle system instruction. A value is passed in, which is the button ID. So if selected equals 1, so if the first button is being clicked, set the style and tone in this case to a default setting. So you are my best buddy, chat with me in a friendly way. If it's number 2, then it's Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. If it's number 3, Shakespeare. Number 4, SpongeBob. And number 5, Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher. Now in the data for the API request, we need to make a change to that. I'm going to add in a system role. So just to briefly explain what the system role is, it sets the style, the tone, the context of the conversation. So every time you submit a request to the API, the chat model knows how to handle it. So it's not just receiving a user message; it's also receiving a system message which sets the context and the tone. So I'll add a couple of props. So the system instruction, that's the default instruction. So we'll have when the page loads, it will default to friend, and that will be the instruction to the AI. And unless we click a button, it will stay on that. So selected button equals 1 as the default. And the bot name will be set to friend. So when the page loads, it defaults to the friend style, but I'm going to change this to Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. So I've asked the AI question. We've set the tone of the instruction to be Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Always answer questions in the tone and style of that character. And that's exactly what's happening. So where do you work? I'm the owner of the Springfield nuclear power plant. I work there too. My name's Homer. So it's already, it knows that this is Homer Simpson and not just some other character called Homer. Another tab, Shakespeare. So again, pointed at Shakespeare. You're William Shakespeare. Always answer questions in the tone and style of him, and include quotes from his plays in your answers where relevant. So here we're saying, you are SpongeBob SquarePants. Always answer questions in the tone and style of this character. Where do you work? Work at the Krusty Krab. And what is your favourite food? Krabby Patty. So let's try Lao Tzu. So I'm in search of wisdom. Wisdom can be found within oneself. Then it gives a quote. Ask another question. One must seek wisdom within oneself. So each time we're clicking this button, so we're setting the style and tone of the conversation through this system instruction, and it shouldn't ever deviate from that, because we're always passing in to the API request the system instruction. If we were to leave that line out, then none of this would work. If you were to ask the questions that we've asked, the AI wouldn't be able to. The AI wouldn't know what the context of the conversation is.